Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Lonely Risk Podcast. I am your host, as always, Blake Ray. And today, not only do we have a guest, but somebody who I can call a friend, a personal friend, somebody who I've gotten a chance to spend quite a good amount of time with, has met my family, and we've had many a beers together. Beaming in from Tbilisi, Georgia, a place that I once called home for nearly a year, we have an industrial designer who not only designs watches, but cars, tanks, airplanes, and anything else this man can draw on paper. Please welcome Zviad Tsikolia. Welcome to the Lonely Risk Podcast, buddy.
Hi, Blake. Thank you very much for such an introduction, and thank you inviting me. Thank you.
I'm glad that you're here. We've been planning this for probably about a year now, maybe, right? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, that's since we start the communication. Yeah,
Yeah, it's been about a year, and
yeah,
it was funny because I told you this story, but when I lived in Tbilisi, you know I was just going around to all the watch shops, and at the time you were at, I think you were at, either your watches were sold at Time there in Freedom Square, or maybe Art Time, or one of those shops or something.
that time was our time. Yeah, correct.
And man, I saw I saw your GDF,
Yeah,
and I think like that watch is such a cool watch. I love it.
thank you
And
very much.
and I was trying to buy one, but the shopkeeper, obviously it was somebody from Art Time, like they were giving me like a really hard time about it, like buying it.
Yeah,
Uh because of course I wanted like a nice discount, like a nice price, and they wouldn't do it. So I was like, okay. So and then after that, I like Googled, your shop, and that was when you were like right outside like the old town. I think maybe you've moved since then. I could be wrong,
yeah,
but
yeah, correct. Because we opened our own the company boutique. The time we had no boutique, and after we grow up, and so that we opened our boutique.
yeah, and I think, I don't remember, we talked about this in Vegas, but I think I came on like a Sunday or something, or when you guys were closed, or
That's a quite strange story, man. Because the usually the I don't know which time it was. The summer, the springtime, or what period it was. Because
um
usually the boutique starts from 10 a.m. till the 8 p.m., something like that. Even in the summertime, it's 9 p.m.
it could have been that I was like really, because I usually like rise pretty early, so it could have been that I went too early, or that, again, I don't know,
Since
but
by Las Vegas time you came.
yeah, I was, yeah, exactly. And so yeah, because I was hoping to just see more about your brand, and then now as I've learned more about you and we've spent quite some good time together,
Yeah, sure.
um, I
Thank you.
think now it means more to me, like your brand and your story, than it did back then when I was trying to buy one. Um, so curious, to jump into things, like tell us about, like, your career before you started, Tsikolia, and your design background, because we talked briefly about it, that you started Unique, right? And then um you kind of transitioned into Tsikolia. Like, tell me about, how you got here.
Oh, it's quite long story, because I was born in Soviet Georgia, and at that period we had the uh, we had this some kind of clubs. It's called the junior techniques, and the club was the for the people they liked to be involved to the some like modeling affairs, so there may be some astrology, some radio techniques, and etc., etc. So the aviation, the marines, and some kind of these affairs. So, and I was just 7 years old. I remember that when my mom took me to that club, so, and I was the kid. So, and it's uh, my teacher was the transportation design laboratory, and so I entered to this laboratory, and since that time, so I started studying the design. So I had the great crazy. He was the crazy teacher. So I call him the sensei. This Darinji. So, and I remember that the time there was. Quite impressive for me. Even today, it feels to be a most emotional day, one of the most emotional day in my life, because I remember the all minutes, so the all seconds, so that what happened there, the smells, the absolutely all emotions. So it was a great. When you look all around, there's some scale models, the cars, the planes, and things like that. The acetone smell, so that's the aroma of the acetone. So there's some paints, so the glues and things like that, the materials to build the model. Imagine so how impressive it was. So that you are just 7 years old. And you look all around and you see the many designer sketches, the original sketches. And because it was like the factory of the designers. I remember he told me once that I was 14th designer he released, so that's the who after became a professional designer. So it was a really factory for designers. So that's
What was it, something that like you had expressed interest with like your mother that you wanted to get into design, or is it just something that
no.
you
It
just
was just like the usually in some childhood years, and when you are the young, you just go to some to dance or the singing or something like that. To spend some time. So that's outside of the house, so doing something. It's like the exercise. So to and how to say, to express the talents, to
right?
find yourself, or things like somebody likes the playing football, the playing to do the something in a sport, or I don't know. So the many interests usually the kids have there. My one was I tried I would love to be a aviation design, and the first was the aviation laboratory. That when I entered, so the teacher said that's it's already booked full, so it's already booked. There's no any place for me, and he advised my mother to go upstairs and try to go to transportation laboratory, because it was like for any kind of transportation, so
Right.
the cars, so the boats, and etc., etc. But I guess that was the best decision. This decision, because after that teacher told me that you should to follow this way, you should to become a designer, and he advised to my parents to, I would say, they go to that way. So let's continue.
Wow.
Yes, continue this way. So because that he played the big role in my life. Also my brother, because he was also before me. He was the technician. He was in the same club. Everybody knew him, and usually the family was like this. Everybody. My father also, they could make anything. So it was just the ordinary thing in our house. So they make something.
It's crazy that you find your passion at such a young age.
Yeah.
I know this about you, but not sure about my listeners. But you have done some amazing things in your career. I mean, we talked about some of your cars that you've done. Like, we talked about some of your military equipment, like your tanks. Like, you made the first ever was it the first ever motorized tank for Georgia? Did I
The
understand that correctly?
first personal armored personal vehicle. It was the first personal armored vehicle, and
Insane.
also the for infantry. So, and many kind of things. I can show you the some of.
Please, yeah.
Some of.
Oh yeah.
You can see also the
Yeah. And
car, the airplanes.
yeah, we talked about your airplane
Yeah.
too.
Yes.
Curious, because now I don't want to call you a watch designer, because you do
I'm not.
you do so much more. But
I'm not. Yeah. Agree.
when you design a watch, like, do you look at it as just a timekeeping instrument, or do you look at it as like an emotional object?
The first of all, the emotional, of course. You cannot separate. You cannot when you make the design. What the design means. Usually uh, most of humans, they think the design is some beautiful thing. It's not beautiful. It's a very complicated project. Because it unions the many aspects. First of all, it's a functionality, the technology, the safety, and the many other aspects. The how to say, the cost, the logistic, and the many other things, and how long it should how to be in the center of the attention, and etc. How how long takes to be replaced, and things like that. So therefore, but of course, the emotional part is the one of the major part, because it's the piece for the everyday use. It's not a tool, which is hidden, so that you put this somewhere. So, and you can see this maybe a week, the month, and you take just when you need it. It is how to say, the very dry looking, the very simple, very functional thing. But for example, they take the screwdriver. The people, it's a very simple tool. What can you do is just make this some more or less, they make this some kind of interesting the handle. The nothing more. So, but the watch is the very complicated piece. You know this the better me, because the many kind of small pieces, the indexes, the hands, the dial, and etc. So, and therefore the emotional part is the one of the most, because in the case of the mechanical part, so usually the many companies, and we as well, so using some existing movement, and the project is based on the existing movement, and you are the limited, so in imagination, but these limitations also, they pushing you they squeeze your brain, squeeze your mind, and they make this something new and fresh, So notwithstanding that, so we using the same movement as there. Many other brands use it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
our watch is my one that is the different. When you look on it, you can say this is a Tsikolia 7, for example, or this is a Tsikolia GDF or something like that. So the emotional part is of course the one of the most important part for designers.
Something that like kind of resonated with me, and we haven't talked about this, like you and I, but after you had came back and we spent like probably we've probably spent like a whole week together, it seemed like, in Vegas.
Yeah.
and um obviously, like, I started, I've been following you for a while, and then I don't know if I was following your brand before. I can't remember, but you had like reposted or shared something that like really was really powerful to me. And I think it was like this past Christmas or something. It was like, it wasn't that long ago, but somebody had I think they had gifted their wife like maybe one of your watches or something,
Yes. Yeah, it
and
was the Marina diver.
and and just to see like her reaction, man. Like, she started crying and she started like freaking out and like, just hugging her husband, like and I think after seeing that, like, to me, like, it like fully clicked that like your brand and your products like mean something to
Yeah,
Georgian
correct.
people.
Yeah, sure.
And
Yeah.
I was like, man, that's so freaking cool just to even like put that perspective on. And
Yeah.
so from industrial design, like, what elements would you say translate into like wristwatch design? Like, I mean, tanks and airplanes and cars, and like, I mean, these things are so far away from wristwatches.
I cannot say that's
Okay.
because usually for designers it's a common thing to be inspired by something,
Mm,
and for example, if you take the 50s, right? So the every car was inspired by the aviation, so
right.
it's okay, the to be inspired by the animal or by the some bugs or the some butterflies or the dolphins or the etc etc. It's okay, yeah, but in that case, so you can play with some kind of parts, some styling, so it's try to bring some military piece and transform it and they use it on the watch. For example, that's the many watches are inspired by aviation, and it is for the aviators, and so therefore, in my case, it happened as well. But I always try to combine, it's not like the some of very famous brands. What they are doing is usually they just put this some graphic, they put this some name, and they say that it's dedicated to this or something like that. In my case, so it is usually not only the call by name or they use some artwork. No, it is the really bring some piece of that field, into the watches. So, for example, I say the P-47 Thunderbolt, for example, right? So it was the design, the real fighter was designed by the Georgian immigrant Alexander Kartveli. So, and this is how to say, it's he's a symbol of Georgians, and it's we proud of that, and
Right.
when I decided to dedicate the sun watch, so I said, okay, let's study the P-47 in details. What's going on in the cockpit? What's going on in details? So what I did. So this is the first time when it happened. We have the subdials, correct? So one of the hand of the subdial is tilted. Why? Because they usually, if you are the aviator, you know that when you set the zero, I mean the ground zero, it can be, it differs from the sea level zero, and it can be tilted, So, and that's why when the Swiss supplier started assembling watch, they told me, Zviad, this is wrong, and they tried to correct this and put the hands vertically, but the artwork on the dial is also the tilted, the zero is tilted. I said, no, don't do this, because they thought it was the wrong, and they told me, Zviad, the dial is the wrongly printed, and there is some mistake. So that's why. So that's each part can play the really, really important role, so the role. I mean, so it depends from the design. And here's my dog. I'm so sorry.
No, the dogs need to be in the podcast too. Yeah.
Look at this.
Oh yeah. Dogs need to be in the podcast too.
Yeah, there's three of them.
When you started your brand, it was 2011.
Correct.
You started Unique.
Yes, correct.
Right. And now you kind of rebranded into Tsikolia. And, what was the concept? Like, did you just feel like you needed to bring a Georgian brand to the market, or did you just feel like it was an underserved market? Because I personally feel like Georgian is like the Georgian market is not a very mature market for luxury goods, and fashion brands and things like that. So like, was that the mentality back then, or like, what did you see, and why why Tsikolia?
It's quite interesting, So okay, we go back to my childhood years, Usually the watches, what feeling do I have to the watches? So I remember the very clear. So that's even the weather, or what weather was. I was just 3 years old, and I was sitting on the table. My dad took me and put me on the table, and he had some Soviet watch. And I asked him, the sound of the tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick was very magical, Imagine you are just 3 years old. So I asked to him to let me take this piece of art, and he said, no, you break it. And my mom pushing him, so you can give he will not break. And right in that time, he passed me the watch. It was broke.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so I remember that I was crying because I was scared. So that's some uncomfortable situation. But after in 1992, I tried to make my own watches, because I have the access to the lace matching, the mailing matchings, So I tried to make my own, but because I had no experience, So I really could not imagine clearly how to make the watch. Even today, I can show this. It was based on the Soviet movement. I guess it was the Vostok movement. So even today I have the case which has the no locks, you cannot you cannot install the straps, and you cannot wear it. But in any case, it was a good inspiration. And after the many years, it was already 2006, and I received the invitation from the very well-known award, the Red Dot. The Red Dot is for designers like the Oscar.
So that was the year you won a fashion watch in 2006.
Yeah. That's actually, it was in 2006, and I said, okay, so let's make some concept design of the fashion watch, And in few months, I got the response from that. My watch, won the Red Dot Award.
Amazing.
And it was a very big impression for me. It made a big impression, So I said, wow, so I can make this some very good product, internationally known and things like that. So it gives me big impression, the passion as well, the power and the self-confident, And after, when I was in Japan, I was working there in Japan. So I tried to get in touch with the company. They produced very unique watches, and we signed the contract to produce this watch, But what happened? Happened that they start to using my ideas and don't produce this watch, So the part of the one by one, they using some ideas, so they start making the new models, and I was like, that's forgotten, So, and I said, okay, so we resigned the contract. So, and after I came back to Georgia, And that time was the hard period, because it was not stable anymore, and it happened after 2008. You remember?
The war and all that. Yeah.
And it was not stable anymore. I mean, not stable for the design service. Usually I had the customers, the manufacturers, and I was making the product for them. So, but what I saw that they not anymore want to have some innovation, some new product. They usually using some existing one, and the payless and things like that. And I said, so okay, in some day it will finish. It will be finished, I need some permanent income, what is the permanent income? And moreover, I tired every time to prove the customers what is a good and what is a bad. And notwithstanding, in few years, the many of them, they usually mentioned that I was the right, but the time is already lost. I said, okay, I do not want anymore to prove to my customers what is a good, what is a bad. Just to prove yourself, is it really good or not? And I said, okay, what kind of good is for me, which is very close to my soul, and to my mind. I said, well, watches. Okay, and then let's start making watches. And also, you have some successful step. You got the Red Dot, and when the Red Dot book was released, the jury mentioned this watch as the unique design. And I said, okay, let's go and call this watch brand the Unique, because you already mentioned the unique design.
Right.
So, and I said, okay, let's do it. And I remembered I made the logo very quickly. And when I was in Japan, my very first car was the Classic Mini, and I was fallen in love. That time was when the new Mini was released,
Yeah.
So, and I saw that the new Mini has the lots of merchandise, but not a Classic Mini. The Classic Mini had just some key fobs and things like that, maybe T-shirts with some kind of logo, but nothing special, which can be wearable. So I said, okay, let's make the watches for the Classic. And I asked it to my friend. He's he's a very famous journalist. So in Russia, so then I asked him to support me to communicate with the Russian Mini Club, So because it's bigger than the Georgian one, for example, because in Georgia we had just three of these cars, and everybody knows each other, and the three customers is nothing,
Yeah, for sure.
And he told me that, Zviad, stop think about the meaning. Let's make some watch inspired by Soviet car Gaz M21 Volga.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he said that if this design will be good, so I promise you I can find the investor. And I said, okay. Right in 1 week, I sent to him the first proposal, the renderings. And the right next day, he brought an investor. And he invested money, and we started making watches.
Wow.
That was my very first step into watch business. The very first watch was that I didn't pay nothing. I mean, as money, Of course, it was my time, my talent, my experience, my work, and things like that. But there is money, so I was just my play role was the zero.
Wow. Now look at you, and I mean, I think you have an amazing portfolio of like a watch collection that you've designed, and I don't know when you started kind of shifting into you kind of have started to rebrand in a sense, and you're starting to kind of take the name of like the Design House of Georgia, right?
Oh yeah. Because
And what does that mean to you, like to be the Design House of Georgia?
Again, so that's Blake. You just mentioned that the people crying, when they get our product. So, this is very emotional, not only for them, but it is moreover, it's very emotional for me as well. Because when you make some product, which is the piece of dream, and you cannot just ignore this, and therefore, so when I had the quite good collection of the watches, I said, okay, my dream was not making watches on, so designing all kind of stuffs.
Yeah.
And the right next step was to make the jewelry.
Yeah.
Because I had the idea how to use because Georgia is the cradle of the wine.
Yeah, for sure.
So and we had this design piece, which is the historical. It's a wine jar. called the quivery. This is the amphora, like the amphor, so which can be put it in the ground, into the ground,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and the wine after the you have to say that
It like
feel it by
ferments.
you feel it by the
Yeah,
grape
yeah.
juice, and after it becomes the wine.
Yeah, it
Also,
ferments. It ferments.
yeah, ferments. Yeah, and in the world, it's just two technologies are just technologies winemaking. It's a Georgian, which is made in quivery, and it's a European.
Yeah, yeah.
Just the two technologies. So, and therefore, so I said, okay, let's take this some historical piece, what we have, and this is a treasure of the Georgian design and innovation, and transform it to some jewelry piece, And that time I started making the many kind of things inspired by quiver. And
Okay.
one of the most interesting product became a quivery. The rings, the earrings, so the necklace, and many of the bracelets, and many of these things. So,
That's
and
so.
after I started make the more and more things like the handbags, the belts, and even the parfum.
Wallets. Yeah.
Yeah, wallets, and the many things. Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's why I call it the design house of Georgia. It's not like only the watches. We make everything. I guess the spectre will be bigger and bigger. So that's it. Just how to say, take just some time, but it will happen for sure, because we would like to be as a global brand. It's not just for the domestic market. So
yeah, and I mean, I see you wearing your glasses, and of course that you
glasses.
design.
I forgot to mention these glasses. The glasses which won in 1 year the two very how to say, the emotional prizes. One is the German Design Award, and second one is the French Design Award.
Amazing. Yeah. It was.
Let me show you the trophy. It's sorry.
Please. No, this is exclusive look right here, man.
Yeah, look this. So.
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
This is a French design, and so beautiful lady.
Oh yeah.
And she's inspiring me every time.
Yeah, I was actually just yesterday, and you've met my wife. My wife does not like cologne at all. I don't know if she told you this or whatever. But when you were flying, like after we did dinner and you went to the airport, and you gifted me the fragrance. I haven't been going out too much, and I actually just wore it yesterday, and my wife is like, "Oh, what are you wearing?" Like, I like that, and so I was like,
"Thank you,
thank you, Zviad."
Really
that was you. Yeah, no, I was. It's an impressive in the performance. I was surprised by how long it lasted. That's very important.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Blake.
So
I appreciate it really. So that's very, very cool to communicate with you and keep in touch with you, and it's quite, how to say, it's really treasure.
I know, and I'm gonna come see you in Georgia soon, and we're gonna do some more content.
Welcome.
I'm looking forward. So I just shot a short film, and it's a short documentary. It's about the watch industry, and I submitted it to a Georgian film festival.
Wow!
So we just got selected for a film festival here in LA.
Wow!
And so hopefully we'll get selected in Georgia but it's done right outside Tbilisi, and I think it's like in like Macheta or something. And it's called,
Center.
yeah, I think it's called the Tbilisi Wine and Film Festival.
Oh, great
So
union, you know.
so when I come to Tbilisi and hopefully I get into that festival, I'm bringing you with me.
Yeah,
Um,
thank you.
tell me to. So I saw when you lifted up your hand there. You're wearing your super veli, right? Which I think that was your first, that the one that you wear today is, that was your was that, did I understand that correctly, that was your prototype
This
watch?
one, you mean?
Yeah, that was the
That's
first.
that was the prototype. Yes, the very first Georgian watch, the made in Georgia watch. So that's a wristwatch.
Oh yeah, there she is.
It's called the Superveli. Superveli means the very first.
I was about to ask that. I was about to ask that because I didn't know what that means. But um, and I just saw breaking news that you did a super valley with Dynamo,
Yeah, of course.
the football club there.
Yeah, yeah, just a 14 pieces. It's based on this watch, on
Yep.
this design, but we changed some kind of parts. Of course, they make it more exclusive. So the dials are the golden plated. Of course, the dial artwork also they change. You know, the using some dynamo symbols because it's 100 years since FC Club was established in 1925. You know, so
Oh wow.
and they asked me to make some exclusive watch, and I said okay. So that we produced just 14 pieces, and the three of them were gifted to the club, and the 11 we keeping the some of them. So the 11 was there for the commercial selling for the collectors, and the right how to say the right yesterday I had the very emotional meeting with the one of the famous the Georgian all-time the best captain of the FC, you know, FC Dynamo, yes, and Alexander Chivadze, he was number 3. So he was also the captain of the Soviet Union team, you know, so the football team. And this is very remarkable, you know.
I was
Quite impressive. And one watch was the gifted to him. Is the how to say it's just like the thanks gift to them, and it's for that emotions they gifted to Georgia. You know.
I have to admit, I was so disappointed when Georgia lost to Spain.
Yes.
Oh man, that just
Everyone.
destroyed my heart, man. I
Yeah,
actually,
it was
I
great.
I actually put like, I don't gamble like at all, right? But I put money on Georgia to win that game. And when you guys were up, like I think you guys were up to like you're up like 3-1 or some shit, like really,
Yeah.
like before the halftime. And then I was freaking out, man. I was like, this like Georgia is gonna like go crazy, but
Yes.
that was robbed from us, man. That was robbed from us.
Yeah. So unfortunately, we lost these games, but
Yeah.
you know, I was the time in New York, so
Oh, okay.
when I started watching the championship, so you know, and it was the like so emotional because
Yeah.
the all Georgians, you know, they together in the Georgian restaurant, and we started watching together, and each goal was like, oh, the Georgia go, Georgia go. So that's
We
very emotional.
there was a lot of magical moments in that game for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, of course. Yeah.
I tried to go to a Dynamo game, because I think it was Dynamo that I think they're in Vake, right? Like
So
that's their
Dynamo
stadium.
is in Didube, so the
Oh,
Inuvake
okay.
is a locomotive.
Oh,
Locomotive.
okay. Yeah, yeah. I would ride. I would take those little scooters and ride up and down Vake
Yeah.
there. Like,
Vake, yes, there's a locomotive stadium. It's a locomotion stadium.
okay.
Yeah.
So Georgia is such a special place, and I recommend anybody who's listening to
Thank you.
please go to Georgia. But you know, 2014, also you won your red dot design for packaging,
Yes,
right?
correct.
And so winning those awards is like, I mean, it's a big deal, right? Like I can see the award right there behind you, but
Yeah.
how does that recognition, impact, a relatively small brand coming from a relatively small nation like Georgia, you know?
Yeah, and they're not famous in this field, Just now, yes, because they are very famous, the designer, the Demna Guasalie, so he was working in Balenciaga. Now he moved to Gucci. So
Mm.
he is a very good ambassador of the Georgia, So, but usually we never had such famous names in design field, internationally very well known. No, it was just still like this. Some cases, in some cases, yes, but they're not in globally.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I've started to notice that too, because I mean, there's a lot of talented, people from Georgia, and so, Georgia is not really traditionally known for like like having a strong like industrial background. It is internally, but not on the global stage,
Yeah,
Um so do you feel like being from Georgia is like a challenge, or do you feel like it's kind of like an advantage, would you say, to
it's a challenge. It's a big challenge, Blake. It's a big challenge, So because now okay, let's go again in the past. So during the Soviet Union in Georgia, we had the many manufacturings. And they could make the very good how to say, the consumer goods as well, and not only consumer goods, but they also they produce some military stuff, the maybe parts for military stuff. And they in the Soviet Union there was no the factory or manufacturer they can make this some product from the scratch paper to the finished product,
yeah,
because
yeah,
each republic was the linked to each other, and it was the one of the main power to unite, then they keep them together. So, and in Georgia also were produced the many parts for the military stuff,
right.
for the rockets, for the airplanes, for the tanks, and etc. But after the Soviet Union was collapsed, we've got the big gap, because there was no any kind of manufacturing, so we could keep, so because everything was lost, the machines were and the toolings and everything was sold to the foreign countries, and the people start how to say, the think the try to find the easier way for the life, not
Mhm.
produce something, just sell product, they get money and they spend it, and it was the very difficult time. But now that when we have such a gap, we have, of course, some community of the how to say manufacturers and producers. They would to produce this something. They would to manufacture something, So, but this is a very small community, and each step to produce the something in Georgia, it's a big challenge, really big challenge, really, because to find the suppliers for the materials, the right materials, which you need, the quality materials, to find the suppliers for the tooling, for the machinery and things like that. It's a very, very hard, and this is a much harder, maybe 5-10 times harder than in foreign countries where the manufacturing is they're quite developed, So, for example, in the USA, you can just if you need something, even for the customer good, right? So you can just buy through the Amazon or something like that, the online shop, and you receive the right next day. But in Georgia, so what I'm doing to buy something from Amazon, I'm waiting at least 3 weeks.
Yeah, USA to Georgia. Woo!
Yes.
I know. Yeah, I used to go to their shop in Vake and pick up all my packages.
Yeah. And for example, if you need some special tooling, the tools or something like that, which is not easy to find here,
Yeah.
So and therefore, so it is a challenge. You are the extended in a time. You are the extended in a budget, So the many kind of things, and this is quite a challenge. So that's why, how to say you are awarded by some internationally known awards. It's very prestigious. But any case, it doesn't support you from this kind of everyday job. So it's you cannot avoid this headache.
Is that why you kind of embed not only Georgian design language, but kind of cultural references and to create a distinctly Georgian product? Is that the mentality that you adopt?
Yeah, I agree. Because for example, so I will make some comparison there. For example, when the photography was the analog and you had just 36 frames, so you tried to use each frame. So how to say precisely, so they don't make any kind of mistakes and they don't shoot some wrong frame,
settings,
So sense. So this is the same in Georgia. You should to find. Oh, come on! So that's my thought.
Your dog wants to be on the podcast.
Yeah. He's in a podcast. So the Pico. Go out. So and the same, absolutely the same in our case. So you have how to say the ability to make some wrong step, and you should to measure everything. You buy some stuff. You should to put some idea, and it should be the right for our target. And these kind of things, So that's a quite hard.
Yeah,
you hear it?
Yeah, it's also cool because being from Georgia and bringing your product to a larger market, you have help doing that now, right? You obviously work pretty closely with Merab Dvalishvili, the Georgian UFC champion, and tell me how obviously Merab is an ambassador. I saw the thing where he flipped open the ketchup. So he flipped open one of your jewelry containers and he had the ketchup inside. How did that connection kind of come to be?
The first I met the Merab in New York, GFK, so, and my friend introduced him. So the George Kiknaze, who is the very good friend of Merab, and we met each other in airports, So and
Oh, wow.
we just started communicating, So and after, so I met him, as I remember, in Tbilisi, in Georgia, and he liked so much our product, and I remember that I gifted to him the one watch. So and he started wearing, the promoting, and he was the thankful, So and it made a big impression on me. So such a big name. There's a Merab he was already champion, they started supporting us. And it
Wow.
continues now. So, after even it almost, it happened 1 year.
Oh,
So,
wow.
and and more, 1 year and a half maybe. And he continues the supporting us. And we try to keep in touch with him, and also we try to support as we can. Of course, we cannot go on the ring and fight with him.
Right.
Support, but by how to say, our passion, so our emotions, by our products, we try to support him as well. So that's a quite good relationship. That this is not only the some kind of commercial and business relationship. No, this is it's also the became in a friendship.
That's amazing. Yeah, I see he loves his 7, man. He loves his 7.
Yeah,
I mean,
because we made specially for him. If you see that, I don't know. Did you see that watch any details?
I haven't seen like up close pictures or videos of it,
Oh,
but I see it on his wrist, and I
yeah,
can.
because the watches were made especially for him.
Hmm,
The special dial with his logo and everything. The
hmm.
colors and the many of kind of things were changed. We made just 10 pieces, as I remember, so, or 12 pieces. I don't remember because my manager was working for that. So, but I made the design in collaboration of the Merab.
Oh, okay.
With Merab, because when I proposed the first design, though, he asked me to make some changes, so
Sure.
because and this is made as Merab wished, so
That's
very
so
special watch. Yeah,
that's so cool. It's so amazing.
yes,
Um,
we
s-
proud of it, So this is how to say, the history of my brand.
yeah, yeah, and now with him being such a sensation in the States, it's amazing to see, like, just because I follow him, I follow you, just to know you as a friend, and to see him supporting is just it makes it so special just for me just to sit and see, so something that's really cool that I don't think too many people talk about with your brand is I'm a huge like reader of like watch magazines, and you know I was reading an article from Watches of Espionage, and I saw there's only been like a handful of watches that were gifted to like government, like CIA officers and government officials, and your watch was one of like maybe like 7 or so that was gifted uh
Yeah,
as a to like a CIA officer, that they reported and claimed it, right?
yeah, yeah.
Um were you aware of that whole kind of thing going down, or just kind of accidentally?
Or moreover, the many Pentagon guys also they wearing the my watches, and the many U.S. politicians also they wearing the my watches. So usually the Georgians, for Georgians, to gift the something special from Georgia is the product made by us. So I really how to say this. Sometimes some tears coming.
Yeah.
Because you feel that you created this something which is the really emotional, and even the people today they are wearing, notwithstanding some watches were gifted 10 years ago, right? So my friends confirmed that they have some communication with them, and they confirmed they even today they wearing my watches, and which watches were gifted they maybe 8-10 years ago. So and I
Amazing.
am proud of it, really. It's a crazy, and when I saw my son sent me that article, the CIA officer
Yeah.
talking about my watch. So that's I was in shock, So I was, as I know, he even visit our boutique.
Oh,
Yeah, he visited
that's
our boutique. So that's
so
yeah,
such a
yeah. And
cool
he
story.
shared this information to my son, So and after my son they reposted me. So that's the quite. I'm really surprised that this is not some paid advertisement or things like that. Imagine, So that's a
Yeah.
great.
The best advertising is free advertising.
Yeah, of course. Yes, of course. Because we prove that we working not only for design piece, we working also for the quality piece, because just the design without the quality is nothing. And of
Yeah.
course, the functional piece is the very important.
Yeah. Yeah. And so obviously, like, I've gotten a chance to like get hands on with quite a bit of your products. I have your wallet, I have your fragrance,
You don't have the watches yet.
we're working on it. We're working
Yeah,
on it,
yeah.
right? We're
Sure,
working on
sure.
it.
Soon, very soon.
Yeah. And actually the other day I was on your website and I saw that the GDF, maybe I overlooked it, but I wasn't even on the website anymore.
Oh, because we have yes, it is finished, and
Oh.
but I kept for you the special one.
Oh, you did? Oh shit. Okay. Amazing.
Yes,
Amazing.
yes, yes.
I can't wait
I
to get it.
remember your choice, and therefore, so I kept the one.
Brother, thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Um Tell me about, this is probably one of the biggest challenges that watch designers face, or in your case, dare I say watch designer, but let's just use that term loosely. Um, but balancing not only like a high quality product, but like strong value, right? So like, how do you, as an industrial designer, a design house, like how do you balance that?
It's quite hard, The first of all, so the how to say the first of all, of course, the quality is the most important thing, and usually when we make this something, we think the first time about the quality and after about the price, and we try always the okay. Uh, we are not hunting to get as much as possible,
Sure.
from the sold product. For us, is the most important to get the emotions as much as possible,
Yeah.
and get the very reliable customers also, and they get the very good feedback, like that CIA, the officer, wrote some article and things like that. This is not paid. It's how to say, there is no value for this kind of things, so there's no price for such a things, and therefore, for us the quality is most important, and if the profit is the less and not so much as can be in the case of the less quality product, right? So to reduce the price, the production price, and things like that, it's okay, no problem. So it's some models can bring a bigger profit, so in comparison to other models. So, but in any case, it's okay. So in any case, this is not a target to get as much as possible, so the target is to have the emotional customers, to keep this as the piece of dream and things like that.
I have to ask this because I myself am a filmmaker, right? Like it's art, right? It's art.
Of course.
I'm creating art that is perceived as a piece of content, a product, whatever.
Yeah.
So I find myself it's very challenging when you're designing something or creating something. Usually your heart and your mind are like battling each other.
Yeah. Yes.
So for you, when you're designing a product, is it your heart or is it your mind that leads you?
Heart.
Heart?
Yes, of course. Of course, everything starts from that, After the brain is connected, but usually it's heart.
The brain
emotion is
the brain tries to freaking trick you, man. It's like, oh, like let me fix this, let me fix that. Like it can be a vicious circle, man.
Yeah,
it can be a vicious circle.
Heart is main, how to say, the main sense. So I guess this is it.
What would you say? And this doesn't have to be watches, but what would you say is something that you've designed that you're particularly probably the most proud of?
Oh, that's I designed my two boys.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Best work. Best work.
Fair enough.
So, how to say, the many product very emotional, and I'm proud of that. Even for example, that's the first Georgian armored vehicles. The corporate identity for the first internationally known air company when I was just 21 years old. So, and many of things, for example, I produced some series of the bottles, for the beer brewery, so that's
oh yeah.
Even don't change any tools on their existing line, but they make the bottles totally different in a shape, in a diameter, in the many things. This is very hard. This is also I'm proud of it, that I can do without any money spending. So to make this, innovate some good design, so which becomes which will be introduced in some design books, international design books, as the piece of design, so, many things. Really, I don't remember sometimes because I started the working as a designer when I was just 19 years old.
Yeah.
Imagine, though, since I'm 54 now, so it's
Long.
so huge time,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the many pieces, even some of them I don't remember even. I once happened, the customer came to me and he brought the logotype, as I remember, and I said, I think this logotype was made by me, so many years ago. And I tried to find this, and I was correct. I was right. So it was made 15 or 20 years ago by me. So that's happens. That
That
happens. So
that
in different fields, even if you take for example, the seven watch. Of
mm,
course, this is a flagman, so it's flagmanship and of our brand, and I'm proud of it also. This is a very, how to say, the very sensitive model which made the Tsikolia very well known and famous.
yeah. I was thinking. I was actually surprised. Well, I'm surprised that you answered that because I was thinking like, maybe the Super Valley, was
Super Super Valley,
yeah,
Super Valley. You mean this one? Of
yeah,
course, but this is a Super Valley, of course. Yeah, because that's why I have this some uh, problem to remember this
yeah,
something.
yeah. I was like,
Of course, I'm wearing this now, so not because we have some podcast. This is
yeah,
my
yeah,
everyday watch. Of course, the Super Valley was the target to make the to up to date step every day stepping, and they reach this target, to start the making watches in Georgia, of course, super rarely, but my final target is to make the very first Georgian movement as well.
oh wow,
That's why we're using now the Miyota movement and sometimes the Ita movement for these watches,
sure,
but we continue working on the Georgian movement. And
oh
this is
wow,
my target. Yes, this is my target. We already tried to complicate some existing movements and to make some changes, and it works, and very well works. Now we every day making some new parts, so to get the experience, to get the knowledge, and after finally produce the very first Georgian movement. That one will be, how to say, the peak of the dream
wow,
in watchmaking. That will be peak of the dream. Yesterday, during I went to my bed to sleep, and they usually before you start the sleeping you thinking about something. So, and it's I thought about the tourbillon and how to make the tourbillon, and so let's see in the very near future. So
that
coming soon.
that's actually crazy. I don't think you've told me about that, but um, it literally. I mean, you answered the question I was getting ready to ask about the long term vision for the brand, and
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but the brand should alive at least the 150 to 100 years. So
wow,
my grand
child,
children's
yeah,
child should they manage the company. Yeah, that's
and
my dream. So it's not just for the temporary. It's not temporary business.
yeah. And I'm
That's
assuming your son is already pretty active.
Yeah. He's
And
very active. He's he supports the manager in a boutique, and I usually he supports me for some meetings, and he tried to understand now this world, world of business. How does it work? So he's just 25 years old.
Oh, okay.
But he knows the many things already. So I guess maybe in the next 10 years he will manage the company. That's my dream. I wish.
That sounds amazing. I don't want to take any more of your Sunday.
No, it's okay. Thank you very much.
I'm going to ask you one more question, final question. And you could say watches or any type of product, but if you were to design one kind of like item, watch, whatever vehicle to kind of like represent your life's work, have you already designed it or are you still working on it? And what would that look like?
Okay.
I ask hard questions, man. I ask hard questions.
Good question, but I can say so. I am working on it. And even before we start this podcast, I was working on it, and I'm sure the next year it will appear.
Is it a watch?
Show the next year. No, it's not a watch.
Oh,
it's not a watch. It's okay. Let's say this year it will be secret, but the next year I will show to the world.
Amazing.
Yes.
Well, we have something to look forward to, I guess.
Yes.
Not only me, but the listeners of the show. So
yes. So I will show you, of course, the privately, but not for the internet.
Well, I'm gonna have to end the podcast right now so I can see what it is. So,
Zviad. Yeah, that's my dream, So I guess the project must be successful.
Yeah, no. Zviad, I want to thank you for spending so much time with us and sharing your insight.
Thank you.
And yeah, it's been not only an honor to record this with you, but to consider you a friend, and to get to know you this past year or so, and yeah, I can't wait to hopefully spend some more time with you here, not only on this side, but and
welcome to Georgia. Welcome to Georgia, bro.
I'm working on it.
Yeah. No, don't work. Just take a ticket and.
I have to convince my wife that it is an essential trip. And you
can kidnap your wife,
I'm sure she might come back with me to Georgia. But for everybody that made it this far, I really would want to encourage you to go check out, Zviad's brand, Tsikolia. We're gonna, definitely link the website, his Instagram, any type of channels that he has below, for you guys to check out. I think this is definitely something, a brand to keep on your radar, for sure. There's not too many brands that I think are pushing a country forward, which is crazy to say. I see all these micro brands. I talk to all these micro brands, and it's cool to think that you're really building something not only for you, but to help advance Georgia, at the same time, which is cool. So
thank you, Blake.
So yeah, we're gonna end this now, and we're gonna hang out and talk for just a couple seconds, and I'm gonna see what it is that you're working on. And everybody, thank you so much for tuning in, and make sure you go check out Zviad and his brand. And we will see you on the next episode.
Thank you, Blake. Thank you once again for such words, and thank you for the comments and everything, and for this brilliant podcast. Thank you, and I wish you all the best. And I wish myself to see you in Georgia as soon as possible.
You will.
With your beautiful wife, Sodi.
You will.
Waiting you.
Very soon. Very soon.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Blake. Bye.